Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Jayco Jayflight 33 RBTS bunkhouse travel trailer. You guys have picked a really cool unit. I'm here to walk you around it and show you how to use a few things. Get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things I want you to take into consideration. Of course, room for your awning, your outdoor kitchen cover, and your slide on this side. Even if you're not going to use your awning, make sure you got room for that slide to come out. Then over on your off camp side, got slides back here as well. Make sure there's room for them to come out, nothing to impede them coming in or out, touching them while they're there, hanging over top of them. Make sure there's room for them. Then I want you to think about where your water and electricity hookups are. Everything's going to be at the rear of your unit. Your power is going to be on the off-camp side at the very rear. And your water is going to be at the middle of the very back of your unit. So take that in consideration when parking so you can better utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we've arrived, we'll unhook our hitch. Hitchman will go over that with you. And then first thing we're going to do is level our unit. Now, I do recommend putting a little sticky level on your unit, especially one as long as yours, where an inch or two will make a big difference over a long span. So put a level on the side of your unit, or in your case, your doorway is about the middle of the unit, you can set a level inside the door when you're doing this. Actually, probably be a little difficult on yours because of the steps. Don't want them down while you're leveling it. Anyway, get a level, something on the side of it, make sure it's level. You do have a power tongue jack on this with an outdoor docking light. Bring it up or down, get your unit level. Now, should you lose power to this, some reason your battery died on you, or you have no power, there is a manual override. Right there is a hole in the top, and right there is your hand crank that does it. So if you lose power, you do have a hand crank to raise and lower this. Speaking of power, I do recommend when you arrive at the campsite, check your battery post, your terminals, make sure they're connected well. Once we've got our unit level, the next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. Coming around to the corner here in all four corners of your unit, you do have stabilizing jacks. Now, you do have a hand crank to run these down. While I'm running this down, I just want to mention that I highly recommend jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot tar, hot blacktop. Better distribute weight. You're only going to want to run these down, stabilizing jacks, not to lift any weight, but just to stabilize. You're just going to want to bring it down taut. Once you've got it down nice and taut, go and do all four corners. Now, you can get a 3/4 inch socket, put it on a drill gun or an impact driver, and you can run these down in a matter of seconds. Just when using power, be very careful. You don't want to overrun it on the end and start lifting up your unit. Remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. You just want to bring them down to stabilize it. Once you've brought all four down, walk back around and make sure none have lifted from you moving the other ones. Now we've got our unit level, we've got it stable. We're going to hook up our water and electricity. Coming all the way around the back of the unit. come over to your off-camp side. Right at the rear is going to be your power cord. Now these new Furions, I'm going to unhook this here and show you how these ones hook up now. So line your silver up, with the silver in there, push it in, and then twist to lock. Once that's locked, go ahead and twist your washer in, power's on. Now you have 50 amp service. Most campsites are set up 30. If you need that, in your convenience pack is a 50 to 30 amp dog bone. And if you need to plug in at home or anywhere else with a 110, you have this 30 to 110 adapter to go on the end. Just remember, when running this 110, do not run both of your AC units. Got our power hooked up. Let's go ahead and hook our water up. Coming to the back of your unit, City Water Connect. First and foremost, water pressure regulator. You want to put on this water pressure regulator to the hose before going into your unit, because it's going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Most units are set at about 60 max, so highly recommend putting this on every time you put water in your unit to protect your lines. Water pressure regulator, hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. We're going to find your hot water heater. Come all the way over here. On your campsite, just to the right of your steps, is your hot water heater. We're going to open that up. And all we're going to do is simply 1.1/8 socket will drive this in. Make sure that our drain plug is put back in. We may have left it out from the last time we were camping and draining our hot water at the end. But put your drain plug back in. Once our drain plug's back in, then we can go ahead and turn on our hose. Once our water's been running for a little while, we're going to come up here to this pressure release valve. We're going to pull on that and let the air out and bleed the lines. Once water's running out of here steadily, you know your hot water heater is full and you can light it from indoors. Now let's say we're going camping and we don't have City Water Connect. We just want to use camping water and potable water and go off the grid. Well, just above your City Water Connect is your potable water. Put your potable water in here. Again, burp or bleed the air out of the lines on your hot water heater. But lastly, most importantly, when using this water, the potable water, is when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Don't turn your water pump on for city water, just when using the potable water. So we've got our water hooked up, or electricity hooked up. We'll walk you around the unit, show you a few other things. Starting here in the back, you do have an outdoor shower. It is prepped with a Furion backup camera. Should you decide to purchase the other part from our store, and it's a device that sits on your dash and electronically communicates with this part. Gives you a backup camera. Spare tire with a cover. Ladder to go up there and check your seams. Keep an eye on your seams and caulk any that are drying out or cracking. And of course on the back as well, just about everything you need for docking. Here's your cable and TV satellite hook up here. My finger's a little cold this morning, can't get open. Black tank flush, we'll talk about that when dumping our tanks. Speaking of tanks, you have an extra gray holding tank back here. And coming up here, you have your other gray and black tanks with both handles in your dumper right there. You have this large pass-through storage. Coming up front, your propane tanks. You have a regulator on this. Just simply point the regulator toward the tank that you wish to be using. Make sure that tank is open. There's your cover for your propane tanks. Again, your pass-through storage. Leveling jacks. This is a mount for a television, along with cable and 110 hookup if you want to mount a TV out here. Your LED lighting underneath there. Your awning. I haven't ran it all the way out. I want to show you how to do that here in a moment. And this is the hood for your microwave. About it on the outside. Let's take a look on the inside. Coming inside your unit, first and foremost, I want to point out where the fire extinguisher is. Make sure that everyone that's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is near the entry doorway in case of emergency. To your right as you walk in the doorway, here's this panel with your access panel. So these are your two slides here in the living room, and this is your awning. I'm going to open this up and finish running this awning out. I just want to show you how far to run it out. You only want to run it out until that flap falls down. Oh, it didn't fall down that time. Sometimes it doesn't. The moisture catches it. There it goes. When the flap falls down and you see that much of the black, you know you're down far enough. Yeah, sometimes it'll roll and it'll just stick to the black and roll right up. Just back it up and re-roll it. And then bring it back in. So also in this panel are your interior lighting, exterior and interior lighting. Up here is where you'll turn on your water pump if you use potable water. To the right of that is where you turn on your water heater if hooked up to gas, and to the right of that, turn on your water heater if you're hooked up to electric. Here's where you check all of your tanks, battery, fresh tanks, all those. Come to the left, we'll go right into the kitchen. There's the exterior door here. So self-explanatory microwave. Lighting and a fan above your stove. This glass on your stove makes an excellent backsplash. Simply hit your lighter to light. Set this to light. Hit your spark, and if your gas is on, you'll have gas back there. You have a panel light. Your oven. An actual space to store pots and pans. Kind of a rarity in a trailer. Let's come over to your fridge. All your control panels up top. Hold this button in for 5 seconds and it turns on. So here's where you'll lower and here's where you'll raise your number. The white represents what you're changing. So this one here's your freezer. This one here's your fridge. Right now we're on our fridge. I could lower the fridge down to 3. Switch over to the freezer and leave that at 5. Turn it on or off here. You have your pantry, 110 here. On this wall back here, a couple things. First, your thermostat. Everything's controlled from here. From off to auto to air to furnace. You can bring the temperature up or down on here. Shut it off. Here's your slide control for your bunk room. In or out. Only thing I recommend is clear everything out when using this bunk room. Anything that might catch the slide, that's all. So your top bunk will fold up. Nice hydraulics to hold it up there. These legs simply remove out. See if I can do that real quick for you. Wiggle this table. Sometimes they stick to the top table, sometimes they just stick to the bottom. Simply remove these. Set this up here on this step. Bring your back cushions in, and it gives you another bed. Just that quickly. Bring down top. You got enough room to sleep 4 in here. Cable 110, backer for a TV in here. 110 up there. Individual one-touch lighting throughout the unit. $110, $110, $110. Lots of power everywhere. Speaking of power, let's go to your island. Got a couple 110s up top here. In case you're plugging in things to set up here. Down here, let's talk about this little device. And this is our 12-volt carbon dioxide detector. The reason I mention this 12-volt is it's constantly running off your batteries. So if you're not going to be plugged in or not running off your vehicle, disconnect one of your battery posts or use battery disconnect to keep this from running your batteries down. Come around the rest of your unit. You know, these do remove. And you do have heat, massage, and a light for that. Around the rest of the unit here. Bluetooth, IRV Technologies, AM, FM, Bluetooth, CD, DVD player. Everything's right inside here. Dual zone, you can play your music indoors, outdoors, or both. Really nice sound system. Over here is where your cable and satellite will go if you put a TV in this. Coming into your bathroom, a couple things I want to mention in here. First, you have plumbing to keep an eye on behind your toilet, as well as under your sink. Just maintain like you would your home, just keep an eye on these things. Access panel to the bottom, if you want to pop them off now and then, just look in there. And that your GFCI protected 110 is in the bathroom. You do have a hand crank open exhaust vent in the bathroom. Coming into your bedroom, I mentioned that you can get the same hookup for the TV, the mount. It'll mount on this, it'll snap right off this and go to the outside one. Charging center, USB ports, 12 volt, 110s. Your lighting for in here, or you can individually shut them all off by their button, of course, all the way throughout the whole unit. And then your big pass-through storage. Accessible from in here, as well as some storage underneath your bed here. That about covers everything on the inside. I do want to mention your AC unit with quick dump and your smoke alarm. You also have a really nice accordion shade for your skylight. Now, I do want to mention, when bringing your slides back in, make sure you go through the unit. Make sure nothing's going to impede these slides from coming in. Same thing in the bunk room. Nothing's going to be in the way of that coming in. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Then you'll bring your slides in. Actually, I'll start back here on the bunk one. I like to bring this down. Go through and shut off all of our lights. And just bring our bunk in. So I finished with the bunk slide. I went through, turned off all the lights. Now I'm running the other slides in. And they only take a matter of a couple seconds to run in. Again, see if that door was open, that would catch on that. Same thing in the bunk room, make sure the drawers are closed. These always look like they're going to come up and run into each other, but they don't. They stop at just the right point. Coming over your kitchen slide. That'll run in rather quickly as well. So we've got all of our slides in. We're going to go out and act like we're leaving the campsite. Alright, now let's start with our steps. Make sure our door is all the way open. What I like to do is, after I lift it up about this high where you can see things falling, go ahead and give it a shake. Shake all the debris off it. Lift it up. You see why the door has to be all the way open. Bring it up nice and slow. Pull on this and that locks it in there. Close your door. Lift and turn this handle. Lock and deadbolt your door. Come to your hot water heater. Bleed out the lines. And then go ahead and pull your drain plug. I think I forgot to mention earlier how your outdoor kitchen hookup is. You have your little lighter, hand lighter grill. Here is your hose, your propane. We'll connect from there to there. Well, that's how those hook up. While we're here, we're leaving the campsite. We're gonna empty both these low point drains. We're gonna open them right up. It's gonna dump all of our lines. We're gonna come to the back. We're gonna unhook our city water connection if we have one. Unhook our power. Bring up our leveling jacks. And head up to the dump station. In your convenience back will be a sewage hose. Hook your sewage hose up to this piece right here. You're gonna come all the way down to the left, and we're gonna pull our black holding tank. It's actually gonna have a black handle. So pull your black handle first. Leave that open. Listen to sound. If it sounds like it's still dumping, once it no longer sounds like anything's running through the lines, leave your black handle open. Come back here, grab the hose at the dump station, again with your water pressure regulator. Hook up to this black tank flush. What that's going to do, let that run for about 5 minutes. It's going to spray out your black tank, get all that nastiness out of there. Make sure you leave your black handle open while you're doing this. After a good 5 minutes, not just a couple, go ahead and unhook your water, go back down, close your black handle, and then pull the gray handle. Gray water holding tank. After it sounds like that one's done dumping, come back here and pull this gray water. Once you got both your grays dumped, that's gonna be cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. You're gonna come to the back of your unit. Where it says squeeze, you're gonna squeeze, and that's where you're gonna store your sewage hose. Nice convenient sanitary place in your bumper. Again, we thank you guys for choosing TradeWinds. We hope you guys enjoy this trailer for many years to come. And as we like to say here, happy camping.